Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today, we're looking at the Lange Sohne Saxonia Thin. You can see this first generation white gold Saxonia Thin and purchase it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos. And please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time to see our full listing for this watch with additional accessories included, high resolution images, and naturally complete pricing details. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that this is the first generation Saxonia Thin, originally released in 2011 and updated in 2016. The lifespan of this particular dial design was 2011 to 2015. 40 millimeters across the round of the case, the watch lives up to its name. It's only 6 millimeters thick, and you can see even that with a nicely sloped domed bezel. There is no dress cuff or tight sleeve that cannot clear this watch. From lug to lug, it has good stance. It's not a small watch. It's 46.5 millimeters from lug to lug, so about 2 millimeters more than a 36 millimeter Rolex Datejust with its oyster case. It's not a light watch on the wrist either. You do note the white gold. You feel the precious metal pull. It's impressive, but it's not oppressive. This is exactly what a fine haute de gamme dress watch should be. Special, but unobtrusive. Now you'll note that the strap is very traditional. It's a medium brown, central splined, minimally bolstered, monotone stitch, rectangular scale alligator leather. There is a supple calfskin on the bottom, and it features Lange's signature pin buckle. You know when you see that retaining bar that it's there as insurance for those like myself who have a small wrist. So if you do have to buckle the watch tight, the strap on the opposing side is not going to get pinned and stuck on the actual pin buckle itself. A lot of times that's an issue with a small wrist. When you really have a watch cranked down tight, it can sometimes refuse to leave your forearm. And as much as we love the idea of wearing our watches full time, there are occasions when we need to remove them, and this white gold pin buckle makes that easier. Lange sweats the details. Now the watch features the first generation Saxonia Thin dial, and the principal difference between the 2016 revamp of this dial and the 2011 variant that you see here is that the indices themselves have changed. The Lange Sohne script, not so much. It is a little bit different, but not perceptible unless you have the watches next to each other. The indices have changed enough that you can see them at first glance. The current generation of the watch has longer individual indices, stick markers applied in gold, as they are here, but this original variant of the dial features a more delicate set of details, shorter stick indices with white gold dots outboard, both applied. It's a handsome and somewhat more complex look than the current watch. Both versions, current and this example, feature elegant alpha hands at center. They're lighter, aesthetically a bit more graceful than the heavier Dauphine style. You'll also note that the case finish of the watch is exceptional, featuring alternating polished and satin elements. Even the lugs themselves have a nice crisp bevel down their sides. Although there isn't much case to see, what is there is exquisitely finished. Again, Lange sweating the details, as they do with the hand-wound caliber. Now this is Lange's caliber 093.1, 21 joules, 167 parts. It beats away at 3 hertz or 21,600 vibrations per hour. It's kind of a moderate, slightly vintage beat rate, and thanks to that, the watch achieves a 72-hour or 3-day power reserve. So if you're the type who likes to wind a watch occasionally but doesn't like to have to do it daily, it'll be an occasional pleasure, not a daily chore. But you will want to interact with this gorgeous movement, if only to admire it. You can see the finish is second to none. One of the great distinguishing traits of Lange is that when you buy a more expensive Lange watch, you're buying complexity. Even if you enter the line at one of the most accessible points, such as the Saxonia Thin, you're getting the same standard of component finish that you would see on something like the Grand Complication or even the Zeitwerk Minute Repeater. You can see the gorgeous 3/4 style bridge reminiscent of pocket watches. You can see the golden hue of the German silver bridges, not rhodium plated brass. It's actually a auburn color or slightly golden alloy of nickel, copper, and zinc. You can see the rich glasuta stripes across the bridge, the hand-engraved balance cock. You can see the black polish on the cover of the escape wheel, as well as the swan's neck regulator and the case clamp screws. You can see the kiln-fired, heat-oxidized cobalt blue assembly screws, as well as a tight and even perlage across the base plate of this 21-joule manual winding movement. This is a little giant, 40 millimeters, so it's not a small watch, not in the traditional dress sense of being, 34 to 36 millimeters. However, it is a discreet and tasteful watch. Arguably the epitome of good taste and discretion, you can see this Lange Sohne Saxonia thin 40mm in white gold and purchase it on our website.